Okay, here's something else to be aware of. This door, I know they've worked on it before. You look over here at the hinges. See how the pocket's been notched out all the way? Well, that's because these hinges were supposed to go the other way, and this door was the opposite swing. But they wanted to use it for here, and they wanted to swing inside, so they mortised out the rest over here. They flipped the hinges around. Yeah, you can do that, but what happens? Here's what happens on all doors, most doors anyways, that you get at the hardware store, okay, and door companies and whatever. Okay, on the edge of the door, right here, the side that opens into the room, this should always be higher than this side. And what they normally do is they cut this at a 3/32 of an angle. So when you close the door, this edge is not going to be too tight to the door jamb, you know what I mean? And I determined, and I looked at this is a perfect square. I put it on a square and I tightened it up. Okay, and I put it on there. I can see the high edge is this edge of the door. I don't think you can see that, but I can see it. This is the high edge. That also tells me they flipped it around. And what's happening is that when you close the door here, that high edge just barely misses the edge there. You see, before I started working on here, see where you could see where the door was rubbing? That was rubbing right here because this was the high edge. It's very difficult to reuse a door because you've got to make this more of a gap. It's really not designed to do that. And you can see where it used to rub right there. Now see when this closes, see how close that edge is? Look at that. Now, what I could do, yeah, I'm not going to because this door is all painted and stuff, but I could rasp off this whole edge, or you could belt sand this whole edge. You could hold this here, and then you could take a pencil and mark that all the way down. Take a pencil like a scribe, you know, hold the pencil up here flat wherever you need to go and do it the same angle all the way down, and then you would have an edge to go by for a belt sander or, you know, something, a plane or something like that. And then you could redo that. There's really not enough room to get your skill saw on there. I mean, you could take a skill saw on there and run it at a slight angle. It's pretty hard to do at this point. Also, the strike plate's in the way, the latch strike plate's in the way. You've got to take the deadbolt off, the handle off, all that, resand this and do all that. But it's barely covering, you know. So it's not rubbing anywhere. See on that inside, the inside edge is a little bit tighter. Now see, when you close the door, see how nice this edge is? That should be the high side. You should have a bigger gap than that on the inside or the outside, you know what I mean? But, so I know this is okay, and this door is probably, who knows, 10 years old or more. I don't think it's going to expand anymore. Worst case scenario, in the winter, it gets wet, and if it expands, then they'll have to come back, sand this, route it, edge it, rasp it, sand it, prime it, paint it, all that kind of stuff, and get a bigger gap reveal there so that you're never going to have that edge hit. See up here, you can see where the painted mark is, where that took that paint off and that put on the door jamb. Okay, remember down at the strike, you see right here where it's marked up, that's where it used to rub. Well, because we sucked that hinge over, I ended up sucking that hinge over and this one and tweaking the hinge. Remember, we tweaked the hinge, and we got that pushed over a little bit more. That helped this, because the last thing I wanted to do is actually run my rasp on here. I mean, I don't mind running my rasp on there. Then when I get done, I'm gonna have a raw edge there, and I really didn't want to have to do that because I don't have the paint. This was supposed to be a, you know, an afternoon project, and that's it. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to share with you a few more things.